Hello and welcome back to ELT English Language Teachers Under the Covers, where we as English language professionals, we look at teaching clips and we give our professional analysis on the good and the bad of what we're seeing. But first, introductions. I am Neil of Team Teacher Fame, and I am joined by the raunchy, the Rudy Booty, Rich.
Thing where you try to come up with new adjectives every time?
I'm trying, but I'm not very creative.
It would make more sense if you actually had them prepared before you did the intro, right?
I always intend to do that, but I never.
I feel like Crispy Chris is all played out as well. I can't be bothered with it anymore. Hashtag Crispy Chris is not dead. Okay, so yeah, my name's Rich. Hello. I do the colour. Neil does the professional commentary. I'm the colour commentary. Is that what they call it? The colour commentary?
Yeah, they call it colour commentary, and then play by play.
A random racist statement about myself.
Give me the white perspective.
And today we are defining the paradigm of language teaching.
Yes, we are. We are putting our offering at the feet of the teaching gods. That is another Hololive episode.
Hororaibu.
Yeah, I think we had so many responses, so much engagement with the previous Hololive episode, and we had a lot of fun watching it.
Thank you, fellow weebos.
that we had to do it again. We had to do it again because I think I can't remember if we talked about this on the previous one, where we could see something like Hololive leading into more like these teaching kind of videos, especially if having avatars and stuff.
Maybe this avatar thing will become a thing in the future, and like primary school teachers will have like the silly avatar and whatever. And who knows? You might have all kinds of peculiar things.
Well, everyone's got their persona. What's his name? No, it's not Professor Nye. Something Nye, the science guy. He's got his own. What?
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, yeah. I don't watch him. Bill Nye, the science guy, he's got his little bow ties and his dress, Mr. Rogers has got his own attire, Brian Cox and his science stuff. He's got his own kind of like, I'm the cool kind of rocky science dude. Every teacher's got their own persona, their own avatar. It's just, they're all dressed up in real life. Or what? I think this is just an extension of this. Is just going that little bit further.
I mean, quite often in classroom, I'll sort of change persona. I'll be like Professor Rich, and then I'll be like Mayo-chan. Hello, everybody, it's a Mayo-chan. Okay, I don't really do it that literally.
You just got puppets.
Can you imagine if any 3D artists out there, if you could make me 3D art of this for my new VTuber English learning channel, I'll be very happy.
I want one that's lagging.
I'm suddenly getting panicky about something. Did we do the sound check? 1, 2.
Yeah, we did sound. It was fine.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track.
Yeah, don't panic. It's okay.
Hashtag Crispy Chris. Not dead.
So should we jump in?
You can jump in.
What clip have you got? Because I'm not sure of the clips. So
you're watching. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say actually for the weebos, like me, for the people watching, the Hololive fans. It was so funny last time. So many comments about rabbit holes and stuff, and Neil has no idea what's going on. So by all means, use the lingo. It's fantastic. Okay, we're watching Erito English with Sakura Miko. I sounded Mexican there. Erito English with Sakura Miko and桐生Coco. So basically, we're watching it with I'm not sure what Miko is supposed to be. Just a girl, I think. Coco is a dragon with a plug-in tail.
Is plug-in? It's not.
Actually, I don't know if her tail is plug-in, but she sells.
Is it
plug-in
prosthetic?
Tails.
Did she lose it at some point?
I don't know, but you can
In a
actually
boating accident.
You can actually buy the plug-in tail as like a, what do you call those cushion things that you hug? A comfort cushion or whatever. You know, like the ones that are like full size that you hug in your bed.
They're like a boyfriend-girlfriend cushion. I've seen those on Japanese websites.
Well, kind of, but yeah.
There's like a Benedict Cumberbatch one.
This was just a tail with a plug, and it's all cloth. She said she actually deliberately said she wanted the plug to be made out of cloth, not plastic, because she said if it was made out of plastic, I don't know how they would use it.
How would they use that?
I don't know.
Is that something to do with the rabbit hole? I still don't understand that.
Maybe they'd use it to like clean their board or something.
Yeah, well, because she's a teacher, right, or something.
You have to use plug-in type Asakoko. So, Arito English. So, my gathering from this video, what we're about to see, is that Miko has some English tasks, and I don't know where these came from, but my suspicion is that they actually came from Coco. Obviously, Coco's American, but Japanese. Well, I think she's more American than Japanese, but she's lived in Japan for billions of time. So she's kind of the teacher in this scenario, and we're going to see Miko trying out some English, and we'll see whether Coco sort of guides her, hopefully. I'm not sure if that is actually what happened. I haven't really watched this video properly, but it might just be a conversation in broken English. But I'm hoping that Coco's going to somehow guide her or make some commentary on her English to help her. We also have subs on the original video. There were no subs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So this is the subs version. Are we ready to dive into this?
I'm super ready.
Okay.
こちらやっていきたいと思います。こちらはですね、まあ猫がもしも海外旅行に行ったらどうなるかっていうのをもう英会話でね、頑張っていきたいなと思っています。こちらでは会長は画面見ないでいただいて承知しました。これでこちらで今からミッションがね2つ課されますんで、画面の皆さんにはそのミッションが見えております。ほうほうほうほう。ということで、まあ猫たちが海外に行ったらどうなるのかなということを見てみてもらいたいなと思われます。
So she's got missions.
それでは最初のミッションの発表。会長見てダメだよ。
見えたらさ、ちょっと気になりますよ。
最初のミッションはこちら。こういうことだね。エリートイングリッシュでちゃんと会長に伝わるのかどうか。これが疑問ですね。
Ho ho ho, she's Santa.
それではじゃあ早速行ってみたいと思います。会長は街の通りすがりの人ってことでね。
通りすがりですね。
もう旅行客ということになります。
もう声かけられちゃう感じですか？
そう。はい。それではスタート。はい。ちょっとこれミッション。なるほどね。なるほどね。オッケー。じゃあちょっとこれなんかドラゴンみたいな人にこと話しかけてみようかな。これドラゴンみたいな人。はい、excuse me. Yes.
Okay.
にゃはろ。
にゃはろ。
はい。My name is Sakura Miko. Thank you.
Call me Coco.
はい。Sakura Miko.
Call me Coco.
No. Sakura. With me.
Sakura.
Oh, Miko.
Miko.
Oh, yes.
Call me Coco.
Coco.
Yeah.
Coco.
Call me Coco.
Okay. Coco! excuse me, freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom lady. Pardon.
Freedom lady.
Freedom lady.
Freedom lady.
Freedom.
Your name is Freedom?
Yeah.
Freedom Sakura Miko?
No. フリーダムっていうの、あれ、フリーダムで、フリーダム、
Gone down a rabbit hole.
Morgan Freeman.
アメリカ、
America. Together.
Yeah.
Free America together.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes!
Free America together.
Okay. フリーダムで、go. フリーダムレディーゴー。
Freedom ready go?
Freedom ready go.
Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, Japan is such a kind of a culture that is able to keep everything in. I don't know how to say this in a sort of polite way. That you know, you will actually find people from Japan who literally don't know how to say like where is or something like that, right? Because you know, it would be so. Imagine if you were actually in London or New York, and you got a tourist that spoke this little English.
Yeah.
You'd be like, huh? You know, it would be shocking almost. Like you know, these days I never get students with this level of English. You know, this is like, what if Sakura Miko watches? She might be upset. Please come on the show, Sakura.
I don't think she'd understand right now, to be honest.
Well, I think her English has improved a lot though, that's the thing. Because this was back in the day before the international viewers got in there. But anyway, yeah, like you know, because it's like A2 absolute beginner almost, isn't it? It's like she's just got a few nouns. Go, my name is Freedom, you know, let it go. Nice. The Beatles, still, after all this time, it's the Beatles lyrics that they know. My God. We are going to get to a day when it's going to be like, you know, I'm going to come up to like specifically I think a Japanese person, but you know, anyone, a student.
That's
Where are you from? And I'll be like, yeah, England, Liverpool. And then I'll preempt them and I'll be like, you know, like, the Beatles. And they'll be like, who are the Beatles? What are you talking about? And my heart will just...
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I think it will, man.
No?
I don't know.
Like
Some
my
people
son,
don't
he
seem to know.
watches Beat Bugs, and Beat Bugs is a children's animated show, and each episode revolves around a Beatles song.
That's super cool. But I feel like it might happen, eh? I met some Spanish kids who didn't know the Beatles, and they really didn't know them, and I showed them the Beatles. And this was when I was still in Spain, and they didn't know it.
Maybe they'll just know the music.
I think it might happen. Anyways, so you know, that's my comments about this.
Okay.
So I guess we can take it a bit more pedagogically. I don't know, like.
Well, what I was
Coco-
going to say is, even though she's got very little English, I'm kind of, it's impressive in the sense that she's very, I don't know, I'm going to say succinctly, but she's focused on describing the best that she can where she wants to go. So, you know, like the Statue of Liberty, you don't know the name of it, but Freedom Lady, I mean, it's probably a direct translation from Japanese to what the Statue of Liberty is. But I think, you know, by saying that, if you're within the context of New York, people might if someone's, you know, got a little bit going on between the ears,
True.
they might be able to work work that out.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important, especially being a native English speaker, that you give a lot of leeway to someone that's non-native, got very low level of English, because it's difficult. It's so hard, and she's trying, which is really important. You don't want to discourage that at all. And you got to think about it the other way. We've both lived in a variety of different countries, with varying levels of speaking the local language. It's a bitch. Learning a language is not hard, and often you often come across people, the local native speakers, that can be quite discouraging. Just learn English or learn whatever language that I'm whatever, and they don't have any comprehension of how difficult it can be.
Yeah,
so kudos to her for at least throwing this out.
Or people who were kind of brought up bilingual as well don't really understand, do they? They have no idea. Oh, easy learning languages. Anyone who says it's easy learning languages either hasn't learned a language, or only knows the languages that they had since they were a kid, or learned a language very similar to the language they know, French and Italian, Spanish and Portuguese, whatever. Do not trust anyone who says it's easy to learn a language. And also, if someone says, oh, this language is easy to learn for you. Oh, you're English, oh, it's easy to learn Spanish, or whatever. Yeah, relatively, compared to Chinese it might be, but no language is easy to learn. Never, that's a ridiculous thing to think. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's difficult, but that doesn't mean it has to be painful and hard work.
Yeah.
If you want to find out more about that, youtube.com, Professor Rich, although I realise this is a channel for teachers rather than students, but there you go, youtube.com.
Yeah, but, also, you've got to remember to let people know that you do have a live stream where people can ask you questions, if there are students watching, on Professor Rich.
Yeah.
And you do lessons, you do these live streams, you get to interact with Professor Rich, sometimes Crispy Crisp, live.
Sometimes Crispy. We might even bring on Mayo-chan.
Oh.
That's it. You get 3 in 1 with YouTube.
I think you should do a whole live stream with Mayo-chan there, just holding it up like a cheap Hololive. So I couldn't afford the animation.
That's basically Hololive now. If I do that.
Leave a comment below if you want to see a whole live stream of Rich doing this.
There you go. Or Hololive if you're watching. I heard you doing auditions.
Talent right there.
That's right. I don't need no voice modulator. I think actually all the girls they have so far are actually girls, but there are other companies that have been rumored to use men.
No way.
Yeah, but because pretty much all of the Hololive girls have been doxed by random weirdos in strange corners of the internet, we know for a fact that they are actually ladies. Plus, you can kind of tell, can't you, the difference in the voice. Hello, everybody. I feel like we're going a little bit off kilter.
We're going to try and wrangle it back in. What do you think about the setup, the activity setup from pedagogically speaking?
I think it's a pretty classic old school way of. I would almost see it as like an assessment style task, right? It's like
teach, test, teach sort of thing. It'd be nice. You could do it like that. That'd be cool. But I think, that would be really test,
good.
teach, test.
If Coco was then diving in now and teaching some stuff. Oh, okay. Now I know what she knows. She knows freedom, lady. Right. Where can we go from there? What can I help her with? What can I teach her about? My inclination. I've said this before. Is that the lady in Coco's mind. I don't actually want to say that there's a lady there behind Coco because I might offend someone. But Coco, I suspect, was a language teacher at some point because I've seen some things which indicate that in her videos. I think probably a few of the girls were, especially the ones that came over from America or whatever and then lived in Japan. It makes sense. It's the main thing that people do, isn't it? So it would be interesting because she's playing up the entertainment at the moment, but she might flip into teacher mode and we might actually see something.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if we did. So you could do it like you say as a teach test teacher where you're like, okay, can you ask where the Statue of Liberty is? All right, you're struggling a bit. Now I'm getting an idea of what I need to teach. We'll teach it. All right, now can you ask where the Houses of Parliament are in London or whatever? You know, almost like a task-based learning style thing. But I think more naturally what they're doing now just seems like an assessment. It's like, okay, so you've been studying English for the last 2 weeks, have you, Miko? Which maybe she has, I don't know, maybe she's been on Duolingo or something. Okay, now I have some tasks for you. Task 1, Task 2, Task 3. Let's see if your English is up to scratch. Here's your task, go. Right? And then it could be like a kind of assessment style thing like that.
I agree.
Alternatives to exams, we might say.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of almost feel like you're doing an examination and an assessment. This is something that you would have, you know, like you would just point at a picture and be like, oh, tell me, direct me how to go somewhere like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's the setup is not that far off, you know, if you're doing an assessment, definitely.
No, I mean, I know for a fact that assessments maybe a little bit older than our time of teaching, maybe back in the 80s or whatever, but I know for a fact that assessments almost literally would take this form in terms of oral assessments. Anyways, do you know anyways is no longer erroneous? It's now acceptable English.
Is it with a Z?
No, it's with an S. God damn, with a Z? What the hell is a Z anyway?
A Z? Spent too much time abroad.
I thought Canadians even say Z.
They flick. They flip and flop. It's whoever they're talking to. They adapt like weasels.
Oh, fair enough. No, I'm not
oh, you're American? Okay, I'm going to use more American spelling. Oh, you're British? All right, I'll use more British words. But I'm going to keep using the word toque for everything. This is their bastion. That's the hill that they will die on.
What's the word that hill they'll die on?
Toque.
I took you to the park.
No, it means like a beanie hat. You know, like one of those. It's a toque. That's the only Canadian word that I know. That's specifically Canadian.
Well, took me a spoked one. By the way, today's podcast is sponsored by Jacob's Creek, Australia. Can you imagine if we had a wine sponsor? Oh, that would be brilliant. You could literally, a wine sponsor, you could just supply me with a bottle of wine per episode. Pay me like 10 Canadian dollars or something. That would be good. Don't know if we've got the audience for them though. Actually, we do. English teachers.
Heavy drinkers.
More than English teachers. Don't drink too much wine, kids. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm happy to move on.
All right, let's do this.
Let it go, let it go.
Oh, dear God. I hate Disney. I hate Disney.
Frozen?
Frozen. No.
Frozen? Is it Disney Frozen?
Yep.
Freedom Lady.
Have you seen Soul, by the way?
Yes, I have.
Is that Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar's Disney.
Oh. What did you think of it?
It's alright.
Oh, okay. I quite liked it.
It was like an adult, more adult-y themes, but I think they're leaning too much into the themes and forgetting a lot of the entertainment aspect.
Oh.
You know, like Up is good, but it's very adult themes. Same with Inside Out.
Okay.
Whereas, where's the Toy Story? Where's the... Coco was great.
Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. You're the pro, obviously.
teach a lot of
どこっ
kids.
てなんて言うんだっけどこ
Freedom Lady. どこ Freedom Lady どこ
Doko.
フリーダムレディ
Freedom Lady.
Go
Freedom Lady. Freedom Lady. Freedom Lady. Freedom Lady.
フリーダムレディ
Free.
フリーダム
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah
You want to go to Statue of Liberty?
Yeah
Oh! Okay. I know the place. Okay.
これわかりましたね今度言ってることが
自由の女神ですかね
ピーポーわかったってすげえ
It's all great, but think about it this way. It's all great. You understand, oh, she wants to go to the Statue of Liberty. That's great. You spent 5 minutes trying to get that point across. But then how is she going to give directions in English to actually get to them? That's always the issue. That's what I never understood is, when people are doing directions and stuff, they teach, there's so much emphasis on teaching, asking for directions, yet not as enough on actually listening to and being able to understand the directions that you are then given after you answered the question.
Well, I think the thing is, Neil, I think basically it's to do with the fact that actually first of all, comprehension is more difficult than speaking. Later it flips, doesn't it? It starts out as comprehension is more difficult than speaking. And also the directions are more difficult and less useful than saying where is, because where is you can use it for all kinds of stuff, but directions just left and right and stuff. And also I think the other thing is that it's difficult to gesture to someone that you want to know where the Statue of Liberty is, but with directions you can gesture, can't you? And I know if the directions are complicated you're in big trouble. But if they're not complicated, if it's just like, oh, Statue of Liberty, that's better than nothing, isn't it? Just go
Where's
that way.
Tenerife?
Go that way, 5 minutes, that way.
Yeah, but I think you could equally just go, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true.
I actually think she could just say, go up to someone in New York and be like, Freedom Lady, and then, if someone's, got a bit of a brain, they might be able to go, oh, okay, and then point them in a direction, but it's like 25 city blocks.
They're cooking up all kinds, man. Like, Freedom Lady, you go, you calling me a Hillary supporter?
I really don't think she would be mistaken as the Freedom Lady.
All right, man. What that you say about me and Kamala? Kamala, sorry, or whatever.
Equally, I'm not sure that would be. I'm not sure what would come to mind.
The Freedom Lady.
Yeah, we got to get someone in New York to ask about that more.
Maybe it's a political statement about bras. What you saying about bras? I happen to be a big fan. Okay.
I feel like we're going down a different rabbit hole here.
Yes, we might be. Maybe we're ready to move on.
Yeah.
I noticed we're still on task 1.
Yeah, it's not long to get into the other ones. Here we go.
Let's move on.
実際にさ、このアメリカに行った時にさ、これワンチャンマジで自由の女神まで連れて行ってもらえる可能性大になってよ。
なってないですね、それは。それフリーダムを自由と訳せて、さらに自由の女神という日本語の単語を知っててギリギリいけますね。
なるほど。
ぜひね、ではミコパイさん、自由の女神の言い方を覚えてほしい。
So she's basically saying that she's failed, right?
Yeah.
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 Which you disagree with.
I disagree with. I think someone, especially if they're used to dealing with tourists, would probably be able to work out what she's talking about within the context. Like if she's in Spain and she's saying freedom lady, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Coco's from down south.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah. The rumors are, what's it called? Georgia?
Georgia?
Is that Atlanta, Georgia? Atlanta.
Atlanta is in Georgia, yeah.
Atlanta.
Maybe we can ask our good friend Brandy. She's from Georgia. She might be able to. And she's voice
accent, didn't she?
Actor.
She was like, I can speak with a twang. She did it really well.
She's really good at this stuff. She should do Hololive and that because she does. I'll send her a message. Brandy, if you're watching this, get on this Hololive stuff for Chinese because she can speak Chinese very well.
Oh wow! They pulled out of China actually. They had some political problems, but there'll be other companies.
Get on it, Brandy. Get on it. Hololive China.
Right, let's move on to task 2 then, I guess. Or maybe Coco's actually going to give us some advice here.
Okay, let's see.
ですね。
How should I say it?
これスタチュー・オブ・リバティと言うんですよ。
スタチュー・オブ・レバディ？
そうです。スタチューは銅像という意味ですね。で、リバティというのがこちらの自由にあたる言葉ですね。
レバディってことは？
そうです。スタチュー・オブ・リバティというんですよ。これが銅像のでかい自由の女神の、ことを言う言葉ですね。
なるほど。スタチュー・レバディってことか。
スタチュー・オブ・リバティですね。
レバディ。
リバティ。
レベディ。
レベベ。
レベビー。イエーイ。なるほどね。じゃあ次ね、次のミッション。次のミッションもあるんだよ。
あるんですね。じゃあ行きましょう。
そう、まだある。
まだあるんですね。もう締めに入りそうな勢いですから。じゃあ
次のミッション。そうして2人で、女神のとこまで行きました。画面見てダメだよ、会長。
見てないです。
オッケー。じゃあ次のミッションはこちら。オッケー。これ結構難しいな。
楽しみですね。
Now, obviously, fantasy role playing, yes. Risky for the English classroom. Not something that I've done very much. I do tend to try and keep situations, role play situations, as being things that can really happen in the real world authentically. But this is not without rationale. And also not without practice.
What's the rationale, Rich? Rationale Rich.
It's called
Raunchy Rationale Rich.
It's called something to do with narrative something or other. I can't remember what it's called. But the term, I believe, was actually coined by one of my managers at one of my previous institutions that I worked for. In Vietnam, and he kind of led on this, and he calls it narrative something, contextualization, narrative contextualization, contextual something. Damn, contextual. Basically, the idea is, and he intended it for kids, small kids. The idea is that you create a narrative in the classroom. You make the whole class into a role play. So you say something to the kids like at the start of the class, like, there's been a crime. Something's gone missing, You guys are my detectives, right? You play it up like that, give them all the roles. You're going to be the this, you're the that, or whatever, or they're all detectives, right? You need to solve this crime. This is the information we have, and it's that contextualization. And in that situation, you're going to get synthetic language that doesn't necessarily particularly make any sense, because it's kind of a fake fantasy role play situation. This particular example that I'm giving is one he used, and it was based on an episode of Phineas and Ferb. I don't know if you know that show.
Yes, I do. Is that the platypus?
Yeah, with the platypus.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was all about the platypus, and they actually watched that. You know, and Perry the platypus this, and the scientist guy that, and that's very fantasy, isn't it? You know, it's like you know, someone might turn around and say, "Excuse me, when is someone ever going to need to talk about a platypus in real life?" Whatever. Particularly an animatronic platypus, but the point is that it's putting engagement over authenticity, which I think we are allowed to do because engagement's so important sometimes. Right. And I've equally had a thing where, you know, I remember one time saying to a student, you know, oh, you like reading, like fiction, you know, the Harry Potter's always a very good one to try, you know, at your level or whatever. And said, Harry Potter, I'm going to learn all this stuff about wizards and wizard language. It's like, that's not the point. Okay. It's like, I mean, really, that was on me at the time. That was a long time ago. And thinking about it, I didn't take their interest into account making the book recommendation, and that's why they had that reaction. Yeah. But the point that they were trying to make it from a linguistic point. They weren't saying, I don't give a damn about no wizards, don't want to read that more. They were saying like that the language wouldn't particularly be useful for them, and I don't think that's a valid point. Actually,
no.
I think that the language could be a little bit synthetic or a little bit fantasy, as long as you know it's clear that that is the case. You know, you're not like tricking someone. You're not saying, by the way, kids, this is a banana. Repeat after me, banana. You know, we're not doing that.
Right.
But you know, saying something that's a little bit imaginary, a little bit fantasy, a little bit not necessarily realistic, I think it's fine. And that is where I come to the rationale with something like this.
Okay.
Because if it's engaging to talk about dragons and flying to the top of the Statue of Liberty, no problem. Justification done.
I understand that, but you know, it kind of feels like with her level of English, it's like introducing the subjunctive just after you've done the present simple or something like that, or conjugations of the verb be. All right, repeat. I am, he is, she is. Okay, now let's go into the subjunctive.
I am, he is, she is, blah blah blah. Right.
Now can you say
Gandalf's at the gate and you have to ask him for the wand of justice, go. Exactly.
Yeah, I there's nothing wrong with it. It just feels a little bit Lynchian, like David Lynch.
What? Sorry? Oh,
Lynchian. If David Lynch taught English, how it might go, a lesson might go. Or
yeah.
Have you ever watched anything or read anything that's actually written by kids? You know, like look at your old diaries of when you were like 5 or whatever. Or have you ever seen Axe Cop? No. You don't know Axe Cop? Oh, so this guy, he animates his show where he's got a cop, and the cop often has an axe, and the show premise is given to his nephew, and his nephew's like 8 or 9 or something like that, and he basically kind of writes out an episode of what happens, and then he animates it. Of Axe Cop solving problems, and basically it's just it's very funny, but the logic in that show is just all over the place. It's just Deus Ex Machina, after Deus Ex Machina. It's just like, here's a problem, okay, now Axe Cop can fly. Here's now a problem.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah,
no, they do. Yeah, it's like, oh no, you know, like little Tommy is like stuck on the other side of the thing, and then John Cena comes in and rescues him.
Because that's the logic. It is logical. It's just not realistic.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
So I think basically we've just, you know, compared these two ladies, one lady and one dragon lady, to small children. Is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
Am I going to get shit for this?
No, there's some Japanese words for that. I don't want to say them though because they might be on the block list.
Oh, shiz.
No, there's this thing. There's a few words. There's like the Japanese word for little sister. I think has certain connotations which are a bit weird, and they're like the chat always tries to get them to say it. So it's like say, and then the word just means little sister, but apparently it's related to some anime and it's got some other connotations. And also they do things. Some of them do things with their voices, don't they? I don't think Coco doesn't seem to change her voice at all. But I think Miko does it a little bit, and
she does a childish kind of voice.
They try
like
to
is it like a kawaii kind of cutie?
Yeah. I think it's an Asian thing, isn't it? Like I think Asian girls actually really just do it sometimes. You know, they just change their voice to make it kawaii, or whatever. Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. But the Hololive girls are kind of good at doing it, like they play it up. But Coco obviously just says, just like you can tell she's just talking normal. Anyways.
Okay. I'm happy to carry on.
Through. How long have you got?
We're good. We're good.
Oh, we're good, are we? Okay.
Yeah. Start.
I've got to say, I just love the enthusiasm that they have all the time. Like, I wanted to say it before, they're triers, you know? It's like you were saying, like, I'm amazed at what she's done with, like, 3 words, and I'm like, I wanted to say then, like, they're triers, you know?
That's what's really important. I mean, you know, just when you're learning a language, you've got to understand that it's a marathon, not a race, and the more you try, the more you swing, you know, the more you miss, but conversely, the more you'll hit as well. And, you know, you just kind of grow confidence and realize that, sure, whatever language you're speaking or learning, you're shit. It's always going to be that way at the beginning. And then you get better.
Yeah.
But you only do that by trying. It's 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah,
Gretzky, Canada.
Yeah. Alright. Gretzky, the famous terrible Canadian tennis player.
Hey, Coco.
Oh, hi, Miko.
Thank you. Freedom Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Me. Statue of Liberty. Top. Oh, go.
You want to go to top of the Statue of Liberty? You want to go inside?
Oh, that's not actually. No, that's a pretty. See, that's a logical leap.
You want to go inside of Statue of Liberty?
To the top, because that makes sense.
Top. Go, Miko. Together, go.
Together. Let's go.
You want to go together with me?
To the top of the...
Butterfly!
Are you butterfly? Pata.
You want to jump from Statue of Liberty?
Okay. Jump. Pata. Butterfly. You butterfly. Go top. Statue of Liberty top go.
Butterfly.
By the way, I think one of the things that is helping her is that there's a lot of, you might know about this, there's a lot of English words which have made it into Japanese.
Yeah.
And so, butterfly is probably one of them, I imagine.
What is, what do you call that now? They're not false friends, they're... There's a word for it. Because I know there's, you know, like, t-shirt is one, sandwichy or sandwich.
I don't know.
Because it's in Korean, there's so many, but they're all Koreanified, and they even use, you know, like English words, but they have different meanings. It can be really confusing sometimes.
Well, that happens all over the place, doesn't it? It's like in Spain where they've got the spinning, spinning and footing for jogging.
Oh, yeah.
So they have it all over. But yeah, I don't know what the word is actually.
It's definitely a word. A lend word. Is that a Len word?
Maybe, yeah. It's the evolution of languages. It's something that, you know, I mean, obviously English had tons of these from French.
Conversely, it's really interesting that in France, the French actually have a ministry of language, where they actually kind of hunt down these English words or words that are entering into the French vernacular, and they actively look to create a French word for whatever Len word that's trying to get in there. So to replace it, they're very pro not having other words enter into the language.
It's prescriptive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
because they're trying to kind of keep French.
There's an argument for it. There's an argument for it. English teachers will not like it. You'll rarely get language teachers or language academics who will stick up for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there is an argument for it. It comes from standardization. There's an argument for standardization. It really is.
Yeah.
If we didn't have standardization, English wouldn't be where it was, and we wouldn't be able to talk to people the way that we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care like what people want to say about standardization. Oh, it's destroyed X number of languages and linguists are crying in the corner and all the rest of it. I get it. You know, I get it. And it is sad, you know, it's sad, yeah. Okay, it'd be nice to know what Cornish really sounds like or whatever, you know. Not just Cornish, but all of the little variants of English that became English that we don't know what the hell they were.
Yeah.
Yorkshirese or, you know, Scouse, which has survived actually. Scouse still is going. But, you know, but
really
that's the
be.
point. The point is there is an argument for it, you know. There's an argument for preserving that, because, you know, what if really things get so anglified that, you know, French people just start speaking kind of broken English, or you get this kind of confusing situation like you have in Singapore now, where you've got the Singapore local language, and then you've got Singlish.
Yeah.
Right, and then you've got English, American and British.
Yeah.
If you want. Which one you're going to learn? What's your standard? You know, and people argue for Singlish, the linguists. You know, Singlish is an authentic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. You know, but it's also confusing and difficult, and a lot of people don't like it. And you can fight against that, but they don't. And a lot of, you know, the people I know, I have a fair few students from Singapore. I haven't found any of them who stick up for Singlish yet. None of them like it. They all want to get away from it. They want to learn British English when they come to me, right? But when they go elsewhere, they want that.
There's no advantages for them to have that as the standard, because if you have that as the standard, that means you can only communicate with someone that also speaks Singlish. You know,
it's quite insular, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, the people who argue for this, a lot of them, they'll argue for, you know, languages naturally evolving and blah blah blah, and they also argue for, you know, the language should be owned by the people who speak it, not by the people who spoke it, or something like that, right? So, like the idea of international English, all the rest of it. You know, the non-natives own the language that they have. True, they get to make that decision, but the vast majority of them still want the standard. And they don't want the standard to be the thing that was being invented in their country over the last 40, 50 years. Mm-hmm. They want the standard that has a much more established tradition. That's just what they want. Mm-hmm. You know, and you can go around in circles all day about it. I've never found a student yet who's come to me and kind of said, you know, oh no, I'm not bothered about standards. You know, I just want people to, I just want to be able to speak. I just want it to be as easy as possible. Let's just go. You know.
Yeah, I think there's kind of, the issue is there's two aspects of language that are kind of hitting together, that are colliding. One is like the linguistic, you know, a standardization, you know, a need to be understood and to communicate. But then I think there's a cultural aspect of language, in that, you know, people see language as part of their culture, you know, like whether French are trying to keep French as is, because it you know, within that language there is contained or linked to their culture. And I would actually say there might even be a third part, because the way that the language that we speak influences the way that we think. It's our computer code in many respects. I think that's probably kind of more of a new agey idea or a new concept. But like when I've done counseling and I've touched upon stuff like neuro-linguistic programming, the language that you use to talk to yourself, like if you use more negative words to positive words, just as a really simplified example, really influences how you are thinking. So, I could understand why, a culture would not want, especially, maybe a country or a culture that's had a really terrible history with English language speakers by, terrible international policies from America or the UK or what have you, that, they don't want any of that Western thinking that would come along with the language. So, I think there's a whole barrel of worms in there, and it's not really a conversation that many people are having, and I never expected to be talking about this while watching a Hololive episode.
Hololive, it just gets straight down to the real issues, kids.
Yeah.
It's that deep philosophy. Yeah. Anyone doing a philosophy degree, just burn Plato and watch this. Yeah,
but I think it's an onion, and I think when people say, oh well, everyone should just be laissez-faire, it's all fine, it's all going to work out, and it probably will, but I don't think it's going to work out in the way that many people foresee or many people want, or without losing some aspect of something, even just a whole language through the process. Yeah. But
in terms of your language being affected by that, I totally agree. Yeah, and that thing about the protectionist way that the prescriptive institute in France and the Instituto Cervantes do something similar, and Oxford do something like that, but they've become very descriptive in the way that they do things now, which is good, but it does mean that words like Belfie get accepted into the English language pretty damn quick. The fact that that's something that's now in the dictionary.
What does that even mean? Belfie?
People don't even use it. That's the thing. It was like selfie when it's almost like they do it to be cool now. They throw words in there so quick because they're like, yeah, people are using this. It's the new word. Boom, it's in the dictionary. Belfie, it's a bum selfie. It's a selfie, but the camera is on your bum. That's a belfie. You didn't know that? Well, it's in the Oxford English Dictionary, son.
What? So but it doesn't make sense. If you said belfie to me and you said, oh, it's a type of selfie, I wouldn't think, but I'm British. And,
That's a good point.
Bell.
That's a good point.
A bell.
Yeah.
Is a different part of your anatomy.
Belfie, I mean, how far are you going
to
go?
Anyway,
that's the point. And the other one is, what is it? Humble brag went in there as well. Humble brag? It was a bloody hashtag on Twitter, and it lasted about 5 minutes. Is that still a thing?
That's true.
People even still use that word? Does it deserve to be in the damn dictionary? Maybe, I don't know. I think there's things to be said here, aren't there? It's not as simple as always.
It's not as simple.
It's not as simple as it currently is. I will tell you now, the winds are currently blowing very descriptively in English language teaching, and that is a good thing in most terms, because it means that we say to people, I'm going to go to the park. We don't say, oh, but the correct way to say I'm going to go to the park at the very least, or whatever. They would say, no, well, people don't. They say gonna. They mash it all together. Okay, gonna. And even writing the word gonna, if it's colloquial, if it's casual, you do it.
Yeah.
You do a search for gonna on the internet, you got like 50, I don't know, a lot of hits.
Like over 50.
I was going to say 50 million, but then I was thinking it might be.
But this is the story of English, though, isn't it? Actually. It's the story of English in that it's really a language of the people. And when English came up,
they're all supposed to be.
It was what I remember specifically with English, you know, it was at the time all the royalty and stuff were all kind of speaking French or, you know, a European language, and English was very much like a commoner's language, and you know, then it just then it just got adopted more and more and more, and it just, you know, it took over. And you know, we can have a whole video about why English took over and why something like Japanese is not the world language. I think one of the biggest issues that really stopped it was computers. You know, how difficult it is to kind of write with all the different, you know, Japanese writing systems, that the amount of memory that the computer needs to store that in converse to the English script.
I don't know if that's the case, but
no, that's what I read somewhere, that, you know, that was one of the, you know, it takes more to kind of have symbols rather than you know, text or whatever.
I mean that's probably true when it comes. That's true when it comes to computers.
Yeah.
And that's probably why the Japanese today use something called Romanji or whatever, where it's basically the Roman alphabet and they use it to say Japanese words. That probably comes from that.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting point there. But as for why like Japanese is not spread around the world, well, it's because
they didn't have Hololive at that time.
Well, true, and they are now. Now they're taking over. But
I actually know a lot of people that know maybe more Japanese words than, say, French words that they've studied at school because they've watched tons of anime. And there'll be people that watch stuff like this.
Soredewa? Oh, sorry. Soredewa just means well then in Japanese. Anyway, soredewa. Anyway as well. Anyway. Soredewa. Anyway.
Soredewa?
Soredewa. Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm going French with that. Soredewa? 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 What were we talking about? I don't.
Well, no, you were making some interesting points about Japanese and the keyboard and the memory and why it didn't spread around the world. I was just about to say that I think why it actually didn't spread as a language and English does. It's because a lot of Asian cultures, traditionally Japanese, Japan, China, they are. What you call it when you kind of keep to yourself?
Homogenized.
Well, I don't know, not homogenized necessarily. I mean,
insular.
Insular is kind of a negative way to say, but you get the point anyway. They didn't necessarily go, we have to expand and interfere with everything.
Yeah.
But the English
expansionist.
The Vikings did that. The Romans did that. The English did that. The Americans do that now. You know, it's that reaching out and kind of doing stuff and trading and maybe taking a step further than trading. Not that I'm saying that the British Empire did anything other than trade. But some people might argue that they did. Well,
I think many people should really kind of be a little bit more down on the British, to be honest, because you know, like,
people love the British. I'll tell you
it's really funny though, because they were just
all the criticism of the British comes from American academics and British academics.
Yeah.
And the French. Everyone else loves the British.
And they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
No, they bloody should. Anyway, we can move.
Yeah.
So you wanna go to the top of Statue of Liberty and then jump off like a butterfly?
Yeah. Jump off, butterfly. Yeah. Top.
Oops. It's gone dark
Take
all
their
of a
body.
sudden.
Top. Oh, butterfly. Oh, together. Yeah.
So are you like planning to kill yourself or something?
But yeah. Go.
You want to kill yourself?
To the star. To the star.
Do you want to kill yourself?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? So you want to go to the top of Statue of Liberty
Always know the swear words.
and then fly out like a butterfly?
Yeah! Fire! Okay, fire butterfly! Yeah.
That means you want to kill yourself,
Kill
right?
Ray! じゃあ、ちょっと、会長、ミコが今なんて言ってるでしょう
自由の女神の上に行って蝶のように飛び出して自殺したいと言ってますね。
な
いけないですよ。
違うっすよ、会長そんなことミコ言ってないっすよ
言ってたんですね。
ちょっともう一回ね、もう一回
はいはい。
これ最後ね
Okay.
Still lively top
Together.
jump and butterfly
Jump.
Jump as butterfly.
Wanna jump out like a butterfly
okay
from the top of Statue of Liberty.
See, there's a conflict between
yeah
logic and narrative.
So you wanna go to the top of the Statue of Liberty?
There's some key words, isn't there, that are missing. This is the problem with communication, isn't it? This is like if you just it's like she's just one step below in her English where she needs to be. You know, if she just knew what from was, or she just knew like to or from,
Yeah.
to the top, from you know, no, when she says from the top, no, to top, you know, or whatever. That's all she needs really, but it's just that one little thing that's missing.
Yep.
You don't wanna jump like a butterfly.
yeah
Okay.
はいじゃあなんて言ってんでしょうか
やっぱり自由の女神のトップに登って、まあでも自殺はするわけではないらしいですね。
それはじゃあ正解なんじゃないですかイエーイ
No,
正
disagree.
解は自由の女神のてっぺんまで私を運んでと伝える
No.
That would be wrong
伝
answer.
わんないっすね。
Coco on
こ
it.
れちょっと危険な香りしかしなかったね
これ危険な香りしかしませんでしたね。どこからバタフライが出てきたのかわからないですけど。
でもほら会長はさバタフライできるじゃんやっぱ
まあバタフライはフライまあ飛べますけどそうですね。いやーまあコメントにもありますけどバタフライ
I feel like this is the start of a Seinfeld episode.
I disagree with chat here because chat's obviously telling them that everything went wrong from Butterfly, unless their point is that Butterfly was the right thing, and then it went wrong from there. But if they're actually saying that Butterfly was not a good start, I disagree. I think Butterfly was good. That was good. Butterfly was perfect. She didn't need to say fly. Butterfly's fine. And Coco would get it from that. But it just needed a bit more direction. You, me, together, two top, you butterfly, you know?
Yeah.
Just a bit more of that.
It's kind of difficult to explain that you want someone to transmutate into a butterfly in whatever language that you're speaking and have that person be like, oh, yeah, okay, so you just want me to change into a butterfly and fly us to the top of the Statue of Liberty. But, you know, we have to, kind of reinforce the fact that, she is half dragon, so. I didn't know that was one of her powers.
Dragon. I think she's just a dragon.
She is just a dragon?
I don't know.
They can change into butterflies?
I don't know for law. I don't know. I mean, if she's a dragon, why's she got a plug-in tail?
That's what I mean. That's what I was asking. Is it a prosthetic? You know, like she lost it in a boating accident or a transmutation accident?
I don't know if the plug-in one's just for other people. Oh, dear me. It's so funny, man. I tell you what, the artists must have a great time coming up with this. If teaching ever does go this way, goddamn, we're going to have some fun, eh?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, boy, I want to be like half frog, half leprechaun, unicorn, leprechaun, whatever. I'll be half frog, half leprechaun, half unicorn. I'll be a leprechaun frog, half unicorn that can shit rainbows and teach English as a superpower.
I still feel like you would, even if you were an avatar, you'd still have to wear kind of professional attire. So it'd be a panda, and you'd shit unicorns and rainbows, but you'd still be like in a suit or like a dress shirt or something. Or they'd put glasses on it just to make it look more professional.
These girls wear glasses sometimes. Coco has glasses sometimes.
To look more professional?
I think it's actually, I don't know, I heard a rumour down the rabbit hole that it's if the girls actually wear glasses themselves, sometimes they ask for their avatars to have glasses.
Oh, I thought these were real people. These were like computer generated avatars. Like that you're saying there's people actually pretending to be these people, avatars?
Quick, cut that. We'll get lynched. Okay, moving on.
崩壊してるそんな
それでは
結構いい線いったと思ったんだけどな
難しかったですね、やっぱり。
難しいっすね、これ。ということでですね、今回の、会長に教わる英語教室は、これにで、まあ、終わりということになりますね。まあ、無事終了ということですね。素晴らしいですね。無事に終わりました。よかった。完璧でしたよ。バタフライって蝶々やでって言われてる。
そうですよ。そうなんですよ。蝶のように飛び降りたいって言ってたんで、意味が分かりませんでしたね。
なるほどね。じゃあこれは、じゃあバタフライ、飛ぶっていうのはさ、なんだっけ、英語で。
飛ぶは普通にフライだけで大丈夫ですよ。
あ、そうだ。バタがいらないのかな。フライだね。
まあ正しく言いますと、Fly me to the top of statue of...
Yeah, maybe Coco wasn't the teacher, because I don't think she's even identified the correct reason why she misunderstood that.
Yeah.
I think that these key things here, me to butterfly, because if I said to someone, butterfly me to the top of the Statue of Liberty, you butterfly me to the top of the statue, I think you can get that. So, yeah, but okay.
Butterfly me to the top. I don't know, it kind of feels like someone would be, it feels like someone's doing Cockney rhyming slang. Butterfly me to the top. Oh yeah, that means I'm going down to the shop.
Exactly. Yeah. What is it about Cockney rhyming slang that it makes no sense? Because that's like the point of it, right?
I think the point of it is just to be a twat, to be honest. They're just like, I'm just going up the apples and pears. Just say stairs. Why are you making English more complicated for yourself? I think it's like a hipster version of English.
Yeah, but I thought it was supposed to be come out of the working class, didn't it? Where's the apples and pears?
They just got bored with themselves. I don't know. They're trying to be cool, trying to make up words. You're having a giraffe.
You're having a giraffe. Yeah, you're having a giraffe. That kind of became almost widespread, didn't it? So there is another little one, but I'm happy to wrap up as well. How are we doing?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it up to the people watching. If you want us to see this other little clip or the other clips that you suggested, then you're going to have to leave a comment and subscribe, like. Remember to check out Rich's live stream as well, where he is the avatar that he's got either on the left or right, you choose, and he will teach a full lesson like that. Just holding that to the screen, and you can ask him anything as well. So like, share, subscribe, leave that comment, and we'll do another one, because we do watch and we do read these comments, and we'll take it from there. But do you have any more comments?
Go even further. Post this video on the Hololive subreddit, guys. Just do it. Just do it. It's okay. No one's gonna judge you. Just do it. Just do it. Just be like, wow, check it out.
We should play that repeatedly and just upload it as an ASMR.
Can we put it as like the subliminal messages? Just alter the frequency of it, drop it right down, play it over the whole video. Come on, guys.
Well, on it.
r/Hololive, post it, share the video.
Do you have any final thoughts about that as a teacher rather than just a viewer?
Yeah, like I say, I don't think I'm starting to think that Coco wasn't a teacher. The reason why I thought she was is because she does some amazing phonemic stuff in one of her forbidden videos. That is a video from another lifetime, shall we say, where she like does things with her mouth, points to her mouth and stuff, and you can see there's some understanding of phonemics there about how to do it. Unless she's just being clever and doing it herself. It just struck me that she might be a teacher because of that. Teachers love to point at their mouth, don't they?
Or she's done a lot of her own reflective, language learning.
That's possible as well, isn't it?
She's figured it out herself.
Languages tend to gain an awareness of this themselves as well, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
There is that aspect, but I'm starting to think she isn't from that. Yeah, I would say another thing that like an overall summary of this that comes to mind is the fact that the purpose of learning a language and of knowing a language is communication. And this is abundantly clear here, where you've got someone who knows like 4 words in English and is trying to communicate rather complex languages, although she did sort of hit brick walls, unfortunately. I almost feel like if they were actually looking at each other physically in reality, then they might be able to get that message across a bit more.
Yeah.
The point, communication is the aim. It is the aim. Don't lose sight of that, but also don't lose sight of improving your English. It's always a balancing act.
Yeah.
But certainly, like when I first started learning Spanish, I was very much on the I want to learn platonic Spanish end of things. And then I kind of got it up, to the point where I was like, no, it's all about communication. Stop worrying so much about whether you're saying or whether you're saying that exactly correct. But I do come across students the other way who are just like, communication's the only goal, and no matter how many times you correct them, they never get the point. So there's a point there, isn't there, to get?
Yeah, you got to get that balance between, just getting your point across, but also getting, not just having to repeat yourself because you're only focused on that. I think, it would be it was a terrible lesson if this was it was terrible. I think you could stretch it to, like you said, as an assessment. However, I will definitely agree with you that just on Miko's side of things, definitely, and on Coco as well, that they're just trying to communicate, throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks is better than nothing, because literally there is nothing you wouldn't be able to understand at all. And luckily Miko had someone like Coco that was trying to understand what she was trying to communicate in English, and like with the first point, they actually were like, oh, where is this at? They actually kind of got to that point, and I see lots of interactions in tourist spaces like that anyway. So I think that it would be a good example, not of teaching, but how to act, or if you are in a different country and you're trying to communicate with someone, or if you are a local and you're trying to communicate with someone that's doesn't speak your language, patience, listening to what they say, trying to understand, follow kind of the logic, follow the context, and reach to the point where you can communicate, because like you said, that's what it's about, and you got to work with what you got. And in addition, try to keep, if you're not very good at a language, try to keep what you're communicating to a rather simple level and don't go too far into Lynchian logic of flying to the top. Transmutating into a butterfly and flying to the top.
Maybe the flying.
Keep realistic aims and goals.
Flying-based dragon lessons should be reserved for students of an intermediate or higher level.
Yes. Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
I mean, try. Go for it.
Yeah,
The only thing that you can lose from it is
respect,
possibly making a pact with a stranger to commit suicide. But you know, this could all turn up into your own sketch show later on in a Seinfeld-esque way. Oh yeah, that one time, that miscommunication that I had at that tourist place where I nearly almost committed suicide. Wow. That was a laugh, wasn't it?
And it's just a Kramer like sliding in. Hey guys.
Like a butterfly? That was a really good shake. I could never do that shake. That was a really good Kramer head thing.
You just have to,
Yeah.
you just have to really go for it. Yeah. Years of cocaine. Not really.
Cocaine,
really,
Chris.
I've never taken that horrible stuff. I don't know anything about cocaine. Definitely do not. I'm not saying don't take it either, by the way. You know, if people are out there into
it might help you with communicating. Didn't we have an episode where you were very pro doing drugs and learning and communicating in English? Was that in your interview? I remember you like, you should go out for a beer. Definitely.
And language learning, and I made some points hypothetically about how some people do argue for the use of learning drugs. Oh, that's right. We talked about the amphetamines, didn't we? What's it called? That bloody thing that all the American kids do at university.
No, not Rohypnol. Ritalin?
Oh my god.
Ritalin?
It's not Ritalin either. Both of those
Adderall?
knock you out, don't they? It's Adderall. Yes. Roseanne Barr also does a lot of Adderall, apparently. But
she's hilarious.
Learning drug. I don't know. I think we hypothesized about the benefits and drawbacks, but I think in reality, I think you made the good point that if you're looking at drugs as the gateway to your language learning, you're probably approaching things in the wrong direction.
But if you're watching and you want to see Rich take an assortment of drugs in order to learn a language, please leave a comment and suggestions below. If you blow it up to the point where you cannot ignore, Rich will do it.
Yeah. If you make a big enough super chat, if we get one of those big red ones, the ones that you just look at and you go, oh my god, they donated how much?
Yeah, if you can get us to 10,000 subscribers within the next month, Rich will do Adderall and learn Japanese. A live stream.
Snort cod liver oil and then try to learn Gaelic. We'll prove once and for all whether cod liver oil ingested through the nose is a learning aid.
Well, you actually are supposed to do fish oil in order to, promote neurological development, especially for kids.
I got my fish oil.
What?
Yeah.
Mixing it in with your wine.
Amazon.co.uk, baby. Imagine if these guys were sponsoring us. That'd be brilliant. Omega 3 Corporation. You can contact us at eltunderthecovers@gmail.com. We'll sponsor. We'll give you a plug. You just have to send me one of these per episode.
Oh, sounds a bit fishy to me.
Are we getting big enough? Yeah. Isn't it about time? Someone should be sponsoring us.
Definitely. Someone wants to get on this train because it's leaving the station.
Raid Shadow Legends.
So, I think that's more or less it for.
That's it.
My thoughts. Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
No, I don't do drugs. Apart from grape juice. That's it.
Crystal clear.
Crispy.co.uk. Crispy.
Do you do drugs? Please leave that comment below. Remember, if you're wanting to watch
Hololive, that's kind of a drug.
if you're wanting to watch any more of our React videos to Hololive, because there's a whole rabbit hole of more clips that we can check out, and if you have suggestions, even better, put them in the comments below, because we do look at the comments, we do read the comments, and we do follow up. This is a follow-up video of comments about Elite English that you left on the previous Hololive episode. So get to that, do that. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and you know, we'll be seeing you later. I've been Neil of Team Teacher. If you're looking for some of my stuff, some PowerPoint lessons that you can download and use instantly in your class, teamteachchina.com. Team Teach China YouTube, where we have some videos of me doing lessons and some walkthroughs of the PowerPoints. Team Teacher English, where those PowerPoints are turned into homeschool, homework lessons for kids. And we also have Team Teacher Baby, where I, a parent, you know, share with you my journey parenting by also using my teaching skills with that. And then we have Professor Rich. What do you have going on?
Well, youtube.com/Professor Rich, where we have weekly live streams about learning English. Teachers also.
How does the live streams work?
How live streams work? You go to my channel, youtube.com/Professor Rich. You have a look at the next live stream. You click reminder, so you get a reminder for the live stream. When you go on there, you jump into the chat and you say, "Yo, Rich, could you please tell me the difference between negative adverbials with inversion and cleft sentences?" And then I spend the next 4 hours
traveling to your home
around the screen as a cat. No, then I do my best to explain what that is. That's really for students. But you know, if you're a teacher and you want to talk grammar, I'm perfectly happy to do that as well. Feel free to come along and jump in and ask me some questions about teaching. Why not? I mean, it's useful for students as well. Students love to hear about teaching, as long as you don't make it too, you know, what you call
academic.
When it's like academic, I suppose. Like too many buzzwords, too many
jargon.
Jargon. That's the one I was looking for. Yep. So youtube.com/Professor Rich for that. Then we've got Prof Rich Gaming, where I'll probably also be doing live streams pretty soon, because I'm really getting into this live stream thing. That will definitely fire up soon. And we also have, what else do I have? I don't really have anything else. British Please.
British Please.
I don't know. It's kind of so now you go there now, you just get a message which says this website, the owner of this website basically hasn't paid. Like, do you want to pay any further? Kind of, you know, it basically says like the subscription's up or whatever. Do you want to renew? And it's the subscription's not actually up. It's the website behind the website. I still own the address. Don't try to steal that address from me. British Please is mine for the next 10 months at least. But I may well do something about that in the future. And that's what you got going on here. That's what Prof Rich is getting down with, boys.
Perfect. So, like, subscribe, share, leave those comments, and we will see you next time.
Bye, Cod Liver Oil.